already it was.
Right.
But I was a kid, man. I don't even know if I would even have my son out there living by himself. It's somewhere that far from me. You know,
Right.
once I got in a car accident out there and totaled my car, and that
I
was
I I feel like I remember that for some
yeah.
reason.
And I had a hard time recovering. I had a hard time getting back on my feet, being able to take care of shit. I didn't really know how to take care of shit back then.
Right. Right. Got it. Mm. Yeah, it was difficult, man. And so, did you and Travis go back together, or was it staggered?
Oh, it was definitely staggered. I went back first, and I think he came back about 6 months later.
All right. Okay. Got you.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got you.
because
Yeah, I
he,
remember he had a girlfriend out there too, right? Was she from there, or was she from up?
she was from Arizona or something like that.
He met her down there.
Yep,
No shit, really?
yep, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I thought they came down together for some reason. Okay,
And it,
that
and yeah,
that
that
end
that
that ended up ending. That
that
never.
ended, that ended up ending for sure. Yeah,
Okay,
that
gotcha.
that ended. That ended about the same time. Like me and I broke up with my oldest daughter's mom at the same time,
Okay, okay,
and that shit was crazy.
okay. So you were a young man, early 20s, maybe 20. I think I can't remember how old you were at the time, but
I,
somewhere
I was I was
22.
I was I was 21 or 22. I was old enough to
Okay,
drink. I was old enough to
okay.
drink.
So you were a young man out here in LA. Uh, I know you weren't in the city of LA, but when you down here in LA, you in LA, right? So the big city of
Right.
dreams. What were your expectations as a 21-year-old coming down here? What were you expecting to get out of Southern California?
Uh, I wasn't. See, that's the thing is I didn't have a plan.
Okay.
Right? I didn't have a plan. Um, like Travis didn't come up there with me.
Okay,
I
got it.
like I went up there. My cousin Alvin lived up there, so I went up there and I was me and him was roommates.
Okay.
And there was a lady at LA Fitness.
I remember. The
Jen-
lady with the daughters, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was still in the Bay, and then
Oh,
she was like, hey, why don't you just come out here, get your certification, all of that. I was like, all right, cool, that'd be fun.
do you keep in touch? Do you ever keep in touch with them? Did you ever keep in touch
I
with them?
I talked to the daughter,
The older one.
the older daughter. I talked to her, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Um, but not
The, the
not
mom's was the mom was Janet, Jane.
yeah, Jane.
Yeah. Remember,
Hmm.
old lady with a little work done. It looked okay for her age, right? If I wasn't mistaken.
Dude, she was real short.
Right, right. I
Yeah,
remember. Yeah.
yeah. She had
Shortcut,
yep.
shortcut. I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think they
Okay.
call it. What do they call it? The Tinkerbell or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I remember. No, you know what? Because I remember going to their house with you for like a barbecue, and they had a fat ass crib with the pool in back and shit.
Man. Yep.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. I remember going over there. Okay, but so that's how you ended up down here.
Yep.
Okay.
That's how I
That's
ended
like.
up down there because yeah, and then the gym life, man. Then that changed me in a whole different type of way.
I bet. Had you
And
worked out? Had you ever worked out prior to working at the gym?
yeah. I mean, I
Okay.
played football in high school and all of that, and then
Okay.
you work out a little bit in college, and then but then when I worked there, then you just have access to the weights like that, and then me and you, when you
Hmm.
started saying shit to me, you would say shit to me like we would be working out. You would do these intervals and shit in between the heavy lifting,
Right.
and then and I was taking
Creed.
testosterone at the time.
Oh no shit. Okay.
Like yeah, they ended up outlawing whatever I was taking at the time, but I was
I,
real small. When I got there, I was about 145 pounds,
okay.
right?
Okay.
And you
Uh,
you used to say shit like when we work out, you used to used to say shit about yourself. You would look in the mirror, you'd be like, I ain't even taking up no space. And I would think to myself, like, man, if this big motherfucker ain't taking up no space, I'm really not taking up a centimeter. So I started So I started lifting with you every day, and then sometimes lifting with you two, 3 times a day.
Right.
And then my body started changing instantly. Like I became a big person.
And we was hooping too.
If
Yeah.
that's what you want to call what I was doing. Yeah, we was hooping. But yeah, but it was like and then we I don't know if you remember this, we went and got a whole we would go and get groceries.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then we come and eat them groceries.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I blew up. I was about 190 pounds by the end of that.
Yeah, because it was about eating. It's about just eating like a motherfucker back then too.
Yeah, and I mean, we was lifting heavy.
Yeah.
We was getting heavier every week.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that's when motherfucker was throwing up some weight and like was really trying. It's crazy, man, how the mentality changed. I haven't been. That's probably the best shape I was in. I think. Yeah, at that time.
By far the best shape I've ever been in.
I think that was probably the best shape that I was in. So okay, and then Travis came out there, and then you guys got that apartment when he came down.
Yeah. We got he had a spot with another friend of ours, and then once the leases ran out, me and him was like, all right, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? Start making music again. And we had an artist space.
Now, did you ever come out to the studio to Pasadena with me? You did, right? Or no?
Nope. I've been to your apartment out there.
Right.
I went to your spot out there.
Yeah, for some reason I thought you had came to the. So then I got a promotion and I went to the gym in Cerritos.
And
then you came over there shortly after for a second, right? But I know it was a strike. It was a crazy ass distance.
It was like I said, I wrecked my car.
Yeah.
I was like,
I do remember that. I do remember you wrecking your car.
Yeah.
So then when you went back home, what did you do from there? Is that when you met the woman that you're with right now, or is that how it went? Kind of, sort of?
No. It was a couple. So when I moved back out here, I was wild. I was partying, and then I met my oldest daughter's mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I messed up. I messed around and got her pregnant. I wasn't even with her, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
And she ended up. So she ended up being somebody nobody wants to be with, you know.
Got you.
Very pretty girl, but
got you.
She's gone, right?
Got you. Okay.
And then she was doing all, Then we was living out here. She took the baby, my oldest daughter, to Spokane, Washington. Right? Took her. Said, "Oh, I'm taking the baby." Took her to another state.
Mm.
I'm calling you. This should be a lesson of fathers while I'm talking, but
okay.
She took her to another state. I'm calling like, man, she did this, and they tell me it's nothing you could do. There's no paper signed. You know what I mean? That's the child's mother.
Mm.
There's nothing you could do.
Mm.
So I asked my job. I said, can you transfer me to the Spokane store so I can try to go to court out there and get my daughter? They said, no problem. They helped me out. And then I went out there and she was acting wild. I got me a little spot out there. She was out there acting wild still. Just a weird person. And then it took, I was expecting to be out there like 2 years.
Okay.
It took that judge to see me showing up in court every day.
One time, huh? Like, look, come on.
All I was in the court was doing was talking about my daughter. I didn't have nothing disparaging to say about the mother. I mean, I know I thought a lot of things, but I didn't say nothing about her.
Right.
I just talked about my daughter. And man, it didn't take nothing but 3 months for me to have my daughter at full custody. Her mother was always welcome to see her, but she hasn't seen her in 10 years.
Wow. Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
And it's crazy because our daughters are, your daughter's 1 year older than my daughter, right? But same birthday, is that what it is?
Same birthday. She was born in 2007.
Right. My daughter born in 2008. Right. So that's a trip. Same birthday. Right.
Yeah, that's a trip. But yeah, a lot of times, like I've been trying to tell guys, like even though she driving you crazy, man, you got to try harder. It's all effort.
Right.
You just got to show up.
Makes sense.
Ain't no
So,
court, ain't courts ain't trying to keep you from your kid.
and you were also blessed to have a son as well, huh?
Mm.
Yeah.
That boy.
Yeah. Are you gonna have any more kids?
I hope not.
Mm.
I hope
Uh,
not. I was just scared. I was just scared the other day that period came. That period came real late. Waited to the end of the month.
you never thought about go ahead and get and take care of yourself so that way you know?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Yeah, I have a friend that does it. I don't know. It's that's scary. It's scary to even talk about.
I was I thought it is scary to talk about. You know,
I want
I start wiggling my legs even talking about it.
I want to kind of move on to how I reconnected with you, which was crazy. I don't know if you remember, but I can't remember the person. It was a young lady from your city, and her and I followed each other on Twitter over the years. Because on Twitter, you follow people from other states, you don't even know who the hell they are. It's just like people you're cool with for years. You be like, I know him from Twitter, but you don't even know him in real life.
Right.
I don't know if you remember what her name was, but I can't remember. Maybe y'all was talking on Twitter, and I seen your IG. I'm like, what the fuck? Do you remember that?
I don't remember who it was.
It was a chick. She was a light-skinned chick from Vallejo, and I don't know why I can't think of what her name was.
Was she? Oh, she was black though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember who it was.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's how you know it's a small world, bro. I'm like, what the hell? Because at that point,
I didn't know that's how we reconnect, but I do remember it being from Twitter.
Yeah.
I remember never being able to figure out Twitter. That was a good moment though.
Yeah. I was a Twitter nigga.
Yeah.
Master.
I wanted to be. I started like 2009.
Okay.
I should have just stuck with it.
Yeah, I don't even have a Twitter. I had a verified Twitter account and everything, bro, and I don't even have a Twitter anymore. Like I had like a 210 West radio page. I had the indie music night. I had a 210 West. I had the brand folks, but I mean, like once you like lose your communication and contact with talking to people on air, you're basically talking and posting to yourself. There's no interaction with nobody.
It's hard to get it back.
Yeah, it's hard to get it back. So I feel like I was just talking to myself on that shit and just posting links for no reason.
My presence wasn't strong enough. Once I saw Mr. Fab and Glasses Malone try to jump on me, I was like, oh no, I ain't.
Yeah.
Once they came at me, I was like, oh no.
Why did they come at you? What was that about?
You remember Krayshawn and the white girl mob and all that?
Yeah, I do.
So one of the girls, V Nasty, was just saying the N-word, just say nigga this, nigga that all the time. And which they do out here.
Right.
But it's not a good look. I always knew that.
Right.
And Mr. Fab was like out there defending it, like, yeah, this and that. And so was Glasses Malone. I was like, man, what's wrong with y'all? Like, I understand you cool with it, but why you out here taping and defending? And then they jumped on me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't handle that.
Right.
Their presence was too strong, especially out here.
Too strong, right? Because they got people coming in on other people out the woodworks. Yeah, like where you at, pussy? I know that shit crazy, man.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, it ain't for everybody. It ain't for everybody. So I wanted to kind of bring back up what I talked about earlier, how the circle of shit works. So you said that 210 West Radio kind of motivated you later on to, kind of doing what you do now with just being Ernest podcast.
Right.
And I mentioned that how it comes in a circle because yours has remotivated me to do mine again. Can you talk about the podcast world and the struggle it is to get into the algorithms and everything, and then also what made you start it?
Well, what made me start it was I always have something to say, so I would be on Facebook, and I would say one or two things. I like how everybody hates Trump, right? Like I get that, But I remember that tax bill benefiting me, uh, just a little bit, and
Right.
me being excited about it and saying, and all I said was, "New tax bill is legit." And me saying that, I had about 200 something comments of people arguing on my thread.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Stuff like that. I would just say stuff like that, just random stuff, and I would notice that I had an ability to take topics and get people to talk about them. So I wanted to turn that into a show without me having to go back at my phone and reading what people are saying, and
Get your
instead,
shit out. Get your
instead
shit out.
yeah, instead using those things that people are saying as content for my show.
Right. Right. Right.
The
Right.
algorithms are hard to deal with. I just recently figured out that, because I do a video show just like you, and I just started noticing that, like, they're flagging us for having, like, for drinking beer and shit like that, or
Yeah.
um, smoking.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and it's
Yeah.
bullshit because everybody's smoking on this show.
Right. And then like cussing in the first 2 minutes. It's all kind of
Yeah, the
weird
cussing
shit,
thing too.
man. And
I
then,
didn't.
but then you see all kind of destructive behavior.
I'm saying you can see somebody get knocked out. 2 million views.
You can see a Karen calling somebody the N-word 30 times.
Yeah, yeah. I
It's,
mean,
it's, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. They pick and choose. They
definitely.
pick and choose. I think it might be some payola, just like the radio or something.
I did. Yeah, I did a show. So I did a show maybe a month ago.
About the algorithms.
Yeah, and I said something about the name Michael. And it was like it was really like light work. It was not like a show I was super proud of or nothing like that. Like, I was like, all right, well, at least we got some content out there.
Right.
And this shit got 7,000 views. But if I do something with Davey D, you know, who I think is, you know,
Right.
a legend,
Mm.
and it just and you get like 300 views. It's like it could be disheartening at times, but then you hear people who have been successful in the space,
Mm-hmm.
and who are successful now in the space, say
Mm.
things like, well, you got more views than I had at that point. Then
You
I'm
know,
like, oh,
I see some people with some of the dopest setups and visuals aesthetically that have the least amount of views. And I see somebody who be on their phone like, "What's up, YouTube?" Real quick, and I'll be like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Like 10 million views, and I'll be like,
yeah.
like
But see,
smash and hit that like button, and you be like, "Bro, this motherfucker ain't giving no effort whatsoever."
that's
And
the kind of shit that my kids watch.
oh my god, I'll be like, "Oh my god," my daughter, bro, she be playing the game with one device, with the other device, watching the guy play, doing this shit, and I'd be
Yeah.
like, they should be ordering the merch. And I'd be like, bro, how can I get somebody to have this much enthusiasm about what I do?
That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to work on now.
And, you know, and it brings me to the last topic I wanted to talk to you about was NFTs, right? I'm sure you've been hearing about the NFTs, and I'm sure if you're like me, you either are skeptic or think it's a scam or you don't know what the fuck it is, period.
I'm all of that.
Okay, right. So it boils down to me when people are trying to sell me on this NFT shit, and I'm like, well, look, bro, I have a hard enough time getting somebody to watch my content,
Right.
watch my free dope content that I put in effort to do, right?
Yep.
I professionally record it, I film it, I edit it on professional equipment and software, and I give it to people for free. And it's hard enough to get somebody to even get excited or enthusiastic about that. So why would anybody buy an NFT from me? And that's the, you know, unless you're a person on a huge scale, The Weeknd, Drake, Kanye, why would anybody want something exclusive from you that nobody else in the world has? When anything can be duplicated, right? Anything can be duplicated.
I mean, I have a hard time wanting to buy anything that you can't explain to me.
Correct.
What is it?
Correct.
What is it? Somebody told me is you can use the currency, use it as currency in the metaverse. I don't have none of that. I don't even know what that is.
So someone told me, because I had a meeting, and I'm gonna be as vague as I can, because I don't know who's gonna watch this podcast.
Right.
I'm sorry, I don't know who's gonna watch 210 West Radio. I get that. But they talked about me being in my creative space, being able to do a live show or broadcast and to the metaverse, right? So instead of being at a small venue with 60 people, 100 people, I can do the metaverse to 35,000 people, right? And that all boils down to what my first original question was. Why would anybody do that for me when it's hard enough to get streams, period? What would make somebody want to get on their couch and tune in for a 3-hour concert unless I'm Drake or Kanye or somebody like that? It just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, our most prolific people, you go look on YouTube and look at Dick Gregory's video views versus motherfucking Whack 100, right?
Oh,
Like,
I don't want to do that. It's gonna put me down for the day.
Right. So that shit lets you know right there, like, being prolific is not what people want, right?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it kind of shows you. It's like, see how many, if you would have you're trying to be creative and not cheap with it, you know?
Right.
It would be real easy for us to have put out a Will Smith slaps Chris Rock video yesterday.
Right.
So many people did that, and so many people got thousands upon thousands of views. But it's so cheap.
It is.
Yeah, it just feels better this way.
It is. You know, it's crazy you say that, because you familiar with Corey Holcomb?
Oh, 5150.
Yeah. So you remember when he and Zoe got into it? His co-host?
I never knew him and Zoe got into it. I just remember Zoe and Ari Spears.
Okay, him and Zoe got into it on there, and that nigga Corey started belittling Zoe, and Zoe was like, I don't need this shit.
Zoe on the show in a while.
Right. So they got into it, and then, like, you know, I was a victim of it. Me and my boy hopped on the podcast and talked about it because it was, you know, it went down, and then that was our highest rated episode of the podcast. It's crazy. Drama.
But that's different though, because that's Corey Holcomb and Zoe, who nobody's talking about.
Nobody's talking about.
Y'all, so that is, I mean, that's cool on y'all part. You're the only people to cover it.
But it was still the drama. You think about the real content that you put out there that can really benefit people, and it's shit crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's hard to keep people engaged. That's why when I talk about news, that's why I have those. My articles are so outrageous.
Right.
Because, I mean, yeah, you want to give people the news, but people want the bullshit.
Right.
They really want the bullshit.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Well, man, I appreciate you calling into the podcast. I'm gonna have you on again. I'm gonna have a different kind of a setup, and I appreciate you. And then, can you plug your pod?
Can I? Oh, just being Ernest. Just Being Ernest show on YouTube, and it's Just Being Ernest. You can see me. I'm the black dude. There's another dude that has a show that came on after mine.
No shit.
He's a famous country singer, and his name of his fucking podcast is Just Being Ernest.
Of course it is. Right.
And it's, mine came out in 2015, and
Interesting. And then and what's your Instagram?
Instagram at Just Being Ernest.
Cool. I'll put it right there on the screen. Good looking out, bro. I appreciate you, man. 210 West Radio.
Appreciate you for having me.